Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Hey, y'all.
Hi, Angela.
Happy holidays, everyone. Everyone that
Hi.
is here. Looks like there's 11 people in the chat. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. Hello.
Merry
Okay,
Christmas.
so I see us. So it looks like we've gone live.
Yep. No, not something up on my phone. There it goes.
So, hey, y'all. Welcome to my channel. And tonight is just going to be just kind of a fun night for a lot of people to just kind of hang out. That is kind of the point, is just kind of to celebrate the vintage community tonight and celebrate things we love, which is vintage. Hello. The link. Oh, Katie's got it. Katie found the link. All right. I was going to say the link's in the description. Katie, you have. Hello, Pamela. Katie, there are two people in front of you, so you will be after those two people. Hello, everyone. Oh, introduce yourself, my dear.
Oh, hello. I'm Cathy, the Kitschy Cat, and Catherine has so graciously invited me to this holiday vintage show and tell, which I'm very excited about because A, I have always loved show and tell, and B, I love holiday vintage anything. So I'm really looking forward to tonight and seeing what everybody is bringing or what they'll talk about or whatever. I am loving the nostalgia that everybody brings to the table.
Hi, Karen. Hello. Hi, my flea market treasures. Yes, I'm so excited to see what everyone is bringing. Oh my goodness, I literally was thinking until yesterday about what to bring. Like that's how
Yeah.
indecisive I was. I was like,
I made up my mind this morning.
oh, hi Betty. Oh my goodness, we have some people backstage, so we're not gonna dawdle, but I am gonna dawdle just a little bit because I'm gonna plug this. This is Tom and Jerry batter. Okay. This is why you see the bowls and cups that say Tom and Jerry. It's because of this drink. It is not the cat and mouse. In fact, the cat and mouse were probably named after this. Eggnog is the poor man's Tom and Jerry. I said it. And it's this awesome gooey batter. And you can stir it into hot water or you can add some brandy to it. I just do it with hot water. And I just want to cheers to everyone who's been kicking some butt at Vintage this year. I just want to say cheers to this whole community for being here for everyone. The amount of support that happens behind the scenes is amazing. So I just want to say cheers to everyone. So thank you everybody for the support. Oh my goodness, we got even more people backstage now. Oh, yay.
Vinny says hello.
Oh my gosh, I see you people backstage. We do have a lineup here. And so we're just gonna, I'm gonna quit babbling and we're gonna run through it. The last thing I wanna touch on is at the end of the night, I am gonna do a giveaway. There is no sale tonight. You don't have to purchase a dang thing. It is free. So stick around to the end. There will be a giveaway. And oh my goodness, we're getting more people popping on backstage. And I'm so excited to share these vintage lovers with you. And Cathy, we didn't talk about this. Let's just do ours at the end. Let's feature everyone first.
Sounds cool to me.
And I want everyone to be sure when you pop on to plug your channel, plug other sellers you love. Please use this as a time of promotion because not everybody's going to know everyone. So our first guest coming on is Angela from Dear Angela's Vintage. Hey. Hello, dear. Now we are going to go to the side and you are going to be center stage and you are our first show and tell.
So no, pressure's on.
Take it away introducing yourself and talk about what you brought.
I'm Angela, Dear Angela's Vintage, and I do live sales, sometimes gifts with people, unboxing things, crafting. If I had more time, there'd be more content. But hopefully in January at least. So it's hard to limit it to one item. But I thought I'd grab some like ephemera stuff. I've gotten like vintage Christmas cards and things like I've gotten from, because I went around looking yesterday and I'm like, I don't necessarily have anything from like family that's like, I was like, we all have our stuff that's like the heirloom stuff, like, oh, the ceramic trees. But I was like, I'm not that attached to the stuff. But I was like, this stuff, I was like, I don't really have any like vintage Christmas card, or I didn't. So I was like, this kind of stuff I love because it was from people in the community. So I decided to show some of those. And thanks, Halynn. Yeah, and I do the calendar. I didn't post it this week just because I didn't think there was any updates. I didn't get a message, so I was like, it's pretty much the same. So this one, of course, is one of my favorites. I got some of these from Carrie. She gifted me some Valentine's ones, and I believe this was in there as well. It's almost like, I was going to say flocked, but that's not right. But it almost like it has a texture, but it has this little deer, and it kind of looks airbrushed. And then it says, may your Christmas be joyous and the new year bring every happiness.
Oh, look at that font.
Pretty. Yeah. Yeah. Indian graphics, I love the old font and like script and things. And then this, I got a couple from Mama's Treasures when I got like some ephemera stuff, some old pharmacy things, and these were in there.
Oh, so wow.
These little candy canes with a glitter. So and cute. This says made in Canada on the back, which is cool. So I got some vintage Christmas cards from Canada too. And then this like got a little candy cane on the inside. It says don't get drunk, Bill. So love that.
Bill had some cool friends.
This one, I think, came with the 2 holiday greetings with these old candles.
Oh,
I just think it's so cool. Like, and this has got the made in Canada on the back. Let's see what this one says. Oh, this is the one, because there was a bunch of stuff in that ephemera that was Ukrainian, I think. Okay. Wow. So it's got some, like, there's a bunch of letters and stuff, like a whole stack of letters I haven't taken apart because they look so fragile, but I thought that's cool. I got this from Jamie, mid-century wasted in like a package topper. But I think this maybe is like, it gives me like 80s vibes.
Yeah, I can see.
And it's blank, so. Then I got this little one that's got this little snowman couple on here, and it's all got the little glittery.
Oh my God, those are cute.
Yeah. Oh, and I guess this was made in Canada as well, so it must have been from there. It says Marion Crest. May your Christmas be merry, and may the new year hold only happy days. So it's got them on the inside as well. That was so cute. And then my little last thing was this super cute little cardboard thing I got from Sarah at Thrift U when she sent me like this ginormous box of deer things. It must have been around Christmas last year, but this was in there, and I just love this because it's got like Rudolph and all the deer, and Dear Angela. So I've had this like sitting out just over there by my swing bases, like in between, just resting up against them. But I have so many things. Like, this is my first little pet's house from Jamie, mid-century wasted, which also reminds me of Pamela Blanchard, who's one of my favorite people, and because she loves the putz houses too. But I've gotten so many. I can't say enough about all the people in the community, like our little Instagram group with like Katie, Christy, Carrie, Pam, Nate, like, and the Fat Birds, and you guys, like just stuff I've gotten from people. Like you buy something and then they gift you more things. It's like, or just friend mail from people. So many things or just, around my room, cute little things. I just love it all. Cause it's just texting with Laura from Fatbirds the other day, and she's like, she's amazed about what great friendships come from this community.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
And I was like, yeah, what other people you talk to, they probably think you're crazy. Or like, yeah, I'm meeting up with someone in a different state from someone I've never met before. And I'm like, yeah, but I was like, I talk to them like every day and thinking about moving somewhere to with one of your favorite YouTubers. And just you talk to these people every single day. Basically, we see each other all the time, or talk to each other all the time. So I'm just very appreciative of all my fun little goodies from people in the community and people I've met on here.
Cheers to
and this is my brooch I bought for my mom, and so I reclaimed it and wearing this little big kind of Rudolph brooch.
So cute.
Cheers to you, my dear. Thank you so much for kicking it off. Again, everybody, that is Dear Angela's Vintage. And every week she does put together the live sale calendar.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to know what's going on in the retail community, she knows the skinny. So happy holidays, my dear. Thank you for being here. I treasure you.
Thanks for coming.
Enjoy your Tom and Jerry.
I will. All right. Oh, let's see. I'll share the screen with you. There we go. My cat was screaming, just so everybody knows. My cat is actually blind, and so she screams like she's dying to get me to come find her. So if you hear the yowls in the background, it is what it is. So our next guest is going to be a lady who has the most funky style, and she knows a lot about glass. So we are going to welcome on my friend Claudia.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Oh my goodness, it's so nice to see you.
Do you know I did not know what a Tom and Jerry was until this month? I did not know. I had no idea.
I didn't know it was not common knowledge. Does that make sense? Because I had always grown up with them, I thought it was like everybody drinks this. And then I found out, once I moved across the country away from the Midwest, away from growing up in North Dakota, that it's not that common.
No.
So, but I do think most liquor stores carry at least one case of this during the holiday season. So you can call your local liquor stores and see if that is in there. So if you want to try it, and we're gonna put you big, my dear. And once you're big, please introduce yourself and let's do some holiday show and tell.
So I'm Claudia Caye Vintage. If you don't know who I am, I have a YouTube channel and I have an Instagram. Both are Claudia Caye Vintage. And I do sales on Monday called Glass with Class, where we teach you something about a glass subject and then sell gorgeous glass. And then I have a sale on Wednesday mornings called Coffee Chat and a Small Sale. And we are starting a book project in January, the first Wednesday in January, and I'll be giving a prompt a week where we're going to craft and repurpose a book. So I'm looking forward to that. That is going to be a ton of fun. So if you're not following me and you like crafty I'm not crafty. I am not crafty. So I have given myself permission to screw things up and make it look however it looks, and I'm not going to be critical of myself because it's just for fun. So if you're not crafty and you want to join us, you found the right place. My items tonight, I wanted to show you guys 2 Christmas things that sit out year round. So these never get put away. So the first one is this little guy. And he sits with all the other dolls, but he's the only Christmas one. But I couldn't bear to put him away. So he sits out year round because I have a small collection, not a big one. And there's the littlest one.
Aww.
Did you thrift these guys?
I cannot remember. If I didn't thrift them, I bought them off another reseller. And I can't remember. Usually I remember where I got everything. Cannot remember. Kind of thinking it was another reseller and that I fell in love with them, but I'm not 100% sure. If I bought them off you and you're in the chat, feel free to tell me. Then my second item, because I collect uranium glass and I have a whole cabinet of glowy glass. So this guy never gets put away. He stays out year round also.
So cool.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And this one I bought off of eBay when I discovered these existed, and it was before I even started reselling. And it has a massive crack, and I knew it. They disclosed it, and I didn't even care. And let's see if you can see the crack. Ooh. It's inside and outside all the way up. Well, it's not going to show in my ring right. There's a massive crack. And I didn't even care because I loved it so much.
That's amazing. Can you show the glow?
Oh, I absolutely can show the glow.
Ooh.
That shows the best.
That's cool.
Love it.
I love these, and probably if I ever came across another one of any color, but it would be awesome to find a red one, I would keep it. I would not resell it. But I'm weird because I like to find things in the wild.
Yeah.
So I get my most satisfaction out of finding things in the wild.
Yeah.
And I love that guy, even though he came from eBay. But if I could find one in the wild, that would be so awesome. And the red and green ones sit together for Christmas would be so much fun. Those are my items.
That is awesome. Everybody, check out the gorgeous glass behind her. Glass is definitely your focus. Feel free to let people know about your glass show and everything.
So my glass sale is every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern. We keep that sale to just about an hour, so you can spend your lunch break with us. So we want to give you a nice little fun break right in the middle of your manic Monday. And I rotate that sale between my channel and Nikki of Black Dog Vintage and Antique, except starting in the new year, and we hadn't even announced this yet, the very first sale will be on her channel like always, and then we are going to switch to my channel permanently.
All right.
So going forward after the very first Monday in January, we will be on my channel permanently. So we will do one last sale on her channel, but then you won't have to be flipping channels. And then Wednesday mornings, coffee chat and a small sale. And I keep that one to just about an hour, 10 minutes, because the awesome New England Thrifter comes on an hour later. And I always want to go sit in on her sale. So keep my sale short and sweet, and it's a lot of fun. And thank you, ladies, for having me. Merry Christmas.
Cheers to you. All right.
Happy New Year, everyone.
All right. See you later. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So we have our next guest coming on who looks smashing in a red hat. She looks gorgeous. We are going to add her to the stream.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Cheers to you, my dear.
And I don't have anything super festive, just Coke Zero, but
It's red.
very fitting for me.
I was going to say it's red. It counts.
Yeah, and it's Coke, right? You know,
I mean, the Coca-Cola Santa is like the Santa.
he is. He's the Santa, the classic one.
Yes. So I am going to put you large, my dear, and introduce yourself and show us some items.
Awesome. Well, guys, I'm Katie from Vintage and Vinyl, and I do all kinds of things on my channel. I share vintage and antiques, of course, shop-alongs, hauls, and I also share some cool vinyl content, which I'm about to show you some awesome Christmas vinyl in just a second here. But my big project coming up that I'm really excited about this Christmas is my Christmas light collab. I've been working filming lights for, gosh, weeks now. Every night I go out to a different place. I've probably gone out to about 5, 6 places now and filmed lights, and I'm in the editing process, and I have like hours of footage I need to condense down into like 30 minutes, but it's going to be so fun. So Christmas Eve, I'm going to have a big watch party on my channel. It starts at 8 o'clock Eastern. We're going to watch all the videos that are submitted to the collaboration, and we're going to end the evening with some of your favorite YouTubers and the reading of the night before Christmas. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and you can still join in the light collab if you are interested. There is a link in the stories on my Instagram account, and you can see how to join in on that. The video is up on my channel, but I hope all of you guys will come and watch and, of course, join in on this because it's so fun. And you don't have to be a content creator. You can either post a reel, a photo, whatever you want, just as long as you use the hashtag Christmas Light Show 2022 so I can find you. I will show all of your submissions in the watch party as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. So I brought some fun things today to share with you, and these are some of my favorite Christmas albums. Some of them have some family meaning, and this first one is particularly special because a few years ago, I was going through my grandparents' house, and we were sitting in their back room, and Bibi, my grandmother, brought out a big box of vinyl, and she says, "Hey, Katie, you might like this." And I was flipping through it, and I thought I was going to pass out when I saw this album because it's something I've wanted for so long. And how cool to find one that actually belonged to my grandparents. And this is, of course, the classic original pressing of Merry Christmas by Bing Crosby on Decca Records. This came out in 1955, and the cover is just spectacular. But even more cool to find out that it was, in fact, the original press on the silver Decca label with the star. This has, of course, your Silent Night, your Merry Christmas, Jingle Bells, Mele Kalikimaka, a whole slew of things. I'll Be Home for Christmas, White Christmas, of course, which is just fantastic. All of the recordings off of this album came from Bing's original 40s album, White Christmas, and this is just fantastic. So I was so thrilled to have this. And of course, my dad tells me he remembers listening to this all the time growing up. So I'm really honored to have this copy of Merry Christmas. And it's just a real treasure. So Christmas Day, I always have to have this. And I don't have Tom and Jerry's, but I do have my eggnog, which is always a lot of fun. So that's the first album that I have that's pretty special. And my other grandmother was a music teacher, and she loved Perry Como. And this isn't one of her original albums that she had, but when I found this, I thought, oh, I got to get this because Grandma loves Perry Como. And so on Christmas, we get to listen to this together, and she just absolutely adores Perry Como and this album. This came out in 1956. I love the ornament cover on the front, too, originally on RCA. Just a great album. And, of course, this has a reading of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, one of my favorite carols, O Come All Ye Faithful, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, The Christmas Feeling, which is an excellent song, Winter Wonderland, and Frosty the Snowman. You got to love Frosty. So this is a fantastic, fun album that reminds me of my other grandma, Beverly, and I love Perry Como too. He's got just such a good voice. And then this next album is awesome because I think it's on green vinyl. Yes. So I found this a few Christmases ago at a little record store all the way down in Gainesville, which is like 2 hours from me. But I follow them over on Instagram. And I've wanted this album for a long time. Never really could find it. And here it is. It's a Charlie Brown classic Vince Guaraldi trio, and guess what? It is so fun because it is on a very festive green vinyl.
Oh, wow. I love it.
Now, this is, of course, not the original issue of this album, but it's fun and it sounds great because it's nice and clean. And, of course, you've got all of your classic Charlie Brown songs on here, like Christmas Time Is Here. Love that. So, and the illustrations are great on the cover. So this was a really fun album. Originally, this would have come out in 1965, but I've got the reissue here, and it's so fun. I love that green vinyl.
Oh, she's got a Snoopy shirt on.
Hey, Snoopy, yay. Cheers for Snoopy, folks. I love Snoopy.
Now, so Charles Schultz is actually from where I live, St. Paul, Minnesota.
Really, Catherine? That's so cool. I didn't know that. And I've loved Charlie Brown my whole life.
Yeah, and so we have, you know how some of those cities have like statues everywhere? So we have Snoopies everywhere that are painted all over town.
Oh, that's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
I've always loved Charlie Brown, and I think the love for Charlie Brown started because of my mom's dad. He loved Charlie Brown, and he would cut out the Charlie Brown cartoons in the colored, when it was colored on Sundays, he'd cut them out from the paper, the St. Louis paper, and he'd mail them to me, and he'd write little notes on them. And so I'd always get cards from Grandpa in the mail with little fun notes and all of his favorite comics from the week, which I so enjoyed. In fact, I still have a few floating around somewhere, but they're just very special. So I love Charlie Brown.
That's awesome.
And then this next album was a fun find. This was in that Christmas box of vinyl that my BB had, my dad's mother. And this is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now, they made so many of these that I can't find this exact version, but it originally came out on RCA Camden. So I'm assuming sometime in the 60s. The movie came out in 1964, I think. But this is just a fantastic little album. But what's even more special about it is it has my dad's name on it, Mark Blaylock. But, of course, this has also the song Snoozy Snowflake, which my dad's sister, my aunt, is named Susie. So when I showed her this album and I said, I'm playing your song, she goes, that's not Dad's album. Why did he write his name on that? That was mine. Papa got that for me. So I'll always remember that when I listen to this album, that this was technically Aunt Sue's album, but I wrote his name on it. So a fun family story and a great album here.
What is Santa doing, by the way?
What is what?
What is Santa doing? I'm very confused by the image.
No, I mean, he kind of looks like he's hugging Rudolph or like trying to climb Rudolph. I mean, it's a very weird interpretation of Rudolph. All right.
Rudolph, his expression is like,
oh, well, now look, we got a little guy and he looks kind of what's going on here?
He has seen some things. He has seen some things.
They both have.
You can interpret this however you wish. This is maybe not as children friendly as I originally thought, but it's a great album cover for sure. It will last in your memory forever. So there's Rudolph. And then the last two albums I have to share with you are really fun. This is an album I wanted for so long. And if you just know anything about Beach Boys, some of their albums are just getting crazy expensive. They're hard to find. And there's reissues, but I wanted a true original. And I got lucky and bought this off of a Discog seller last Christmas. And it has become one of my favorite listens over the holidays. I've had this on constantly. And this is the Beach Boys Christmas original on Capitol. Just fabulous. Of course, this has Little Saint Nick, which I love. Fantastic songs on here, but of course we all know Little Saint Nick, so I really love this. And of course they've got a fun little thing when you listen to the album between side 1 and side 2. They're speaking on the album, which is kind of fun, so you got to definitely listen to this. A neat little message from the Beach Boys on the Christmas album, but I love that. That came out in 1964. And then the last album is another really special family album, and this was not something that my dad had. He had the CD version, and that's how I know this album. We would drive from my mom's house to my dad's house every Christmas. It was like 11 hours away. He lived in Virginia, and my brother would be conked out asleep, and my dad and I would stay up through the night driving. And I guess I've always been a little bit of a night owl, and we would play CDs. That's how we got through the drive. Well, we had a VHS player Dad hooked up for us kids. But of course, when the night came and Carson was asleep, Dad and I would turn on all of his CDs. And we'd listen to Jimmy Buffett, Don Williams, a whole slew of artists. But around Christmas, we always listened to Alabama Christmas. And so this is a very special album. And even more so as you get older and you really understand some of the meaning behind the songs. But This came out, I believe, in 1983. And my favorite song on here is Tennessee Christmas. And Tennessee Christmas will always be my favorite Christmas song besides Little Saint Nick that isn't like a traditional carol. So I love this album, and it's definitely a favorite, and it was a fun find at an antique store for like $1 a few years ago, and I couldn't grab it and run out of the store fast enough. I was just ecstatic to get it. So those are my favorite Christmas albums. I hope they bring some fun memories to you listening to songs with your family or driving around looking at lights. And again, folks, thank you all for having me during this little fun show and tell segment. And don't forget to follow the Christmas Light Collab, because it is going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. And there's lots of people hopefully involved in this, and great videos will be coming your way soon.
Well, cheers to you, my dear. I cannot tell you guys how supportive Katie is of everyone behind the scenes. Yeah. I call her the godmother of vintage. Godmother of vintage.
I try to be everywhere. I'm not always perfect, but I try to be everywhere. And I just think the world of the community. And of course, I love what Angela said. I mean, we have made so many good friends through the chats, through videos, through other content creators. It's just amazing to me. You know, if you had asked me like 3 years ago, hey, Katie, would you know someone from New Zealand? I would say absolutely not. I'd be like, that's crazy. But I met someone from New Zealand, Nate. We've all become really good friends with Nate. And I've met Catherine in Minnesota, and I met Kathy here, and Vinny from, all kinds of folks from all over the world. And to me, that is just awesome. So I've made so many good friends, and this community is just a whole lot of fun.
Thank you so much, everybody. Be sure to check out her Light Collab. She even filmed in one of my favorite cities in the country, in St. Augustine, Florida. So it's going to be gorgeous. And we'll talk to you later, my dear.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, everyone.
Bye.
Okay. So I'm not sure if everybody backstage can see each other, but just know the next person coming up is going to be Heather. You're going to be the next one. And then we're going to go to Scott, and then Vinny, and then Halynn Vintage. So I guess that's a spoiler for other people, but I just want people in the back to know where you are and not be like, are they ever in a, oh my goodness. So we've already had some really cool vintage items come up.
Yeah.
What was one of your favorites, Kathy? What was your favorite?
I mean, I loved everything everyone brought so far, but when Katie pulled up that Bing Crosby album, it was just like memories, and I have it myself too, and I listen to it every year myself, and yeah, that's and the colored albums are so super cool. Like I've got a red one somewhere from another artist, but it means the holidays to me. I remember listening to records, watching them spin, and hearing the crackle, and it's just, to me, that's nostalgia. So yeah.
I know whenever she talks about the old records, I can hear them in my head, which I love. I'm always like, oh my gosh, I can hear that in my head.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to bring on our next person. We are going to add someone who just does such a lovely job with her channel. Welcome to the stream, my dear. So I'm watching on the back end, and all of a sudden Heather is not in camera, and there's a toy in a chair. What is even happening in this stream?
I was just testing out, because first of all, hello, Kathy, Catherine, and I'm really nervous. Like, I'm normally not nervous. I am so nervous, excited. I can't believe that I'm talking to you, Catherine. I've been a fan of yours for so long.
Halynn, don't be nervous. That's one thing I was worried. Some people were telling me they were nervous, and like, please
I know. Like, my brain knows it, but my emotions do other things.
I know. And happy holidays to you. And honestly, I'm the one that's honored that you're here. Like, the fact that people showed up and were like, sure, I'll get on your channel and share an item that you have no clue. But like, I don't take that for granted. It is your time, and everybody that's showed up in the stream so far creates content. Y'all work really, really hard. And
You know,
here means a lot.
I completely agree with you. I know that all the different things that we do to try to make an effort to constantly put out consistent videos, it takes so much effort, and I appreciate all the different types of channels out there. And, you know, we all do what we can. So, and I've made so many wonderful friends too, like everybody else. So,
all right. So I am going to put you center stage.
Okay.
And introduce yourself. Talk about your channel. Oh, now they're messing with me in the chat and they're like holding up toys and stuff.
Well, when you guys said to bring your favorite thing, I kind of brought one thing, but so far Angela and Katie brought like a whole collection.
You know what?
So that's why I was looking. I'm like, well, maybe I could show my teddy bear over here. Maybe I could do this.
You know, I'm open to anything. I even if somebody wanted to share a memory, I'm completely okay with somebody coming on here and just sharing a memory too, if that's something you want to do. I left it open, but introduce yourself, my dear. I'm talking too much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Heather Elizabeth, and I have been a reseller for a while, probably about 7 years at least, on Etsy. And I enjoy it very much. My shop is very small. I have never been able to ramp up my store the way a lot of people do on eBay and things where they have a ton of listings. I always seem to just be able to maintain a much smaller size store. But at the beginning of this year, I decided that after becoming so just loving the vintage community that I have discovered since a lot of us when the shutdown happened, and I really was inspired by what a lot of people were doing, and I was learning a lot of things. And so beginning of this year, I've started a channel. And my channel is called Antique Agenda. And because one of the main things I love to do, I love going antique shopping. I love it. Like, it's the only thing I want to do. If I'm going someplace new, first thing I want to do is, where's the antique stores? So it seemed only natural that the videos that I was going to start putting out would be taking people along with me to antique stores. I have tried a couple of estate sales, although it's very hard to do. So that's what a lot of my videos are, but sometimes I do hauls. Sometimes I have started, trying to dabble in showing, my little craft projects and things like that. So
little craft projects, you guys, they're fantastic. Don't listen to her. They're good. They're really good.
But it is, it definitely is a lot of effort. And I am really trying to broaden and try to find different ways of adding newer videos instead of the same thing. But I just want to tell everyone, if they do like antique shopping, one of the main videos on my channel is called Music and Antiquing, and it's obviously antique shopping with a lot of music. So that's what you can expect if you click on any of those videos. But I also, during this wonderful YouTube adventure, I also made a friend. We bonded over watching Chateau Diaries, if any of you like to watch that show.
Oh, yes.
And I don't know if she's on, but she was going to try to come on. But I met Angela, voa.quest1910, and we started a little talk show. So now on my channel and on hers, because we switch off every other Monday night, we do a chat show. It's not reselling, but it is a lot of fun. We like to talk about decorating with antiques, collecting vintage and antiques. We usually try to pick something to find the history and background on it, and we just have a good old time. So I also have that going on my channel. So I'm trying a lot of different things. Awesome. But let's get to the thing I brought for Christmas.
Yes.
Nothing too much.
Now I'm so curious. Now I'm like, I don't even know what it's going to be.
Well, here's the thing. Kind of like Angela was mentioning, I don't have a lot of actual Christmas decorations from my grandmothers. I associate Christmas with my grandmothers. My Italian grandmother is where I spent Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And then we would visit my Portuguese grandmother. After that, she lived up north in California. Not that that matters. But I wanted to share some of the Christmas decorations that I loved that I have found recently. And one of them was this adorable, skinny pipe cleaner tree and this beautiful silver quadruplate goblet.
Wow.
And I'm going to just let y'all know right now. I have a thing for silver plate and pewter. And it gets my little heart fluttering every time I see an antique piece of silver that is etched. I love the decorations on this piece. I think it's beautiful. I think it makes a beautiful stand for this little tree. And this is one of my like new favorite Christmas decorations this year. So
beautiful.
Yes, I don't know if all of you know, but one of the best things about silver plate, if you can find quadruplate stamped on the bottom, you're guaranteed that it is an antique because they did not do quadruplating past like the teens. So quadruplating was really in between like 1850 to 1900. So it anytime I see it, it's like, oh, I know for sure this is old. This is, had a real long life and was probably on a lot of wonderful Victorian tables. And I just love that.
Thank you. I didn't know that. We're learning things here. You're learning us good.
Yeah. So this gets me going. And then I decided to come down here to the den because I have my little Pinocchio tree.
Oh.
And that's a fun Christmas decoration. So I've got a little collection of Pinocchios.
That's cute.
And some nutcrackers, but
Wow.
I thought I'd share that. And then I do have a teddy bear next to me because I was like, I don't have a collection of stuff, but
Okay.
I don't know what else. Do you want to see the teddy bear or no?
Yeah, let's see the teddy bear. Let's do it. Go.
Okay, here he is. This is my oldest teddy bear. And right now he's hanging out with a Santa in a feather tree.
Oh.
But this guy is super old. His button eyes are almost falling off. But if you can find teddies, articulated teddies that you can tell is mohair, they're old. They have a wonderful look if you're decorating, but they also they speak volumes of the child who loved them. And that's one thing I love about antique teddy bears is you can just tell that they were hugged and slept with for many, many, many years.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So y'all, cheers to you, my dear. And thank you for doing me the honor of coming on.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, ladies. You all have a wonderful Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy Hanukkah. Joyous winter solstice, whatever you celebrate.
And remember, everybody, she has great antiquing videos to music. It's super chill and super fun. And we'll see you later, my dear. Thank you so
Thanks so much, guys.
Okay, so we are going to bring someone on now who, I kid you not, guys, is like one of the greatest channels, vintage channels. I am so honored and so thrilled. So, Mr. Scott, are you ready to come up? I got him mid-drink. I'm gonna give him a second, but this channel, you guys, he is redoing an old home right now. It is vintage, geeked out nerddom content of like pure joy. He redoes projects. I swear there is nothing he can't do. So welcome to the stream, Scott.
I don't know what to say. Well, hello.
Hello.
May I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
This is the first time that I have ever been a guest on anybody's channel through StreamYard or any yard, backyard, front yard. Should I turn my volume down?
You sound great.
Is there an echo?
No.
Okay. Otherwise, I don't know what you're saying. And I'm sitting here trying to rinse ginger snaps out of my teeth.
No, you sound great. You sound great. So I'm going to make you the main focus. Please promote your channel and what you do and share what you have brought to share. All right.
Well, thank you so much for that introduction. And I don't know what to say. Listen, I'm just a dude with a camera and I like old things. And most of what I know has been taught to me. I can't take any credit for it. I've been fortunate enough to have parents and grandparents and old folks who loved old things. And as young as I was, I can remember my father taking me aside and saying, now, this is how you tell the difference between oak, and this is how you tell the difference between mahogany. And I had a grandmother who threw nothing away. And I just was always fascinated with anything from an era other than the one that I was born in. And it's just been a fascination, and it's so much fun to, it's not so much, we do buy and sell, and a lot of us do it for a living. And of course, you know, I want stuff to sell and pay the bills, but there's an essence to things that someone else cherished this. And when I find something, I think, who owned this, and what did it mean in their family? And it's a privilege to fix a lamp or an old radio or reupholster a chair, or so I'll sometimes do thrift hauls, and sometimes I'm out shopping. Other times I'm, digging around in dumpsters. I don't normally film myself picking trash, but we always had, when we would be out in the station wagon, I'm dating myself, if there was a derelict piece of furniture on the side of the road, we would pull over, and my father would have a screwdriver, and he would, if we couldn't salvage the piece of furniture, he would say, well, now let's take off the casters and let's pull off the lock escutcheons and the hardware. And so it's in your blood, it's in your bones. And I want to thank you very much for inviting me.
You're welcome.
So what do I do now? I show you my junk?
Absolutely. Here for the junk. That's why we're here.
Well, the junk that I have to show you, and I say junk in a kind way, and I've enjoyed everybody. I'm having a good time. I'm sitting here watching everyone. I've enjoyed everything that I've seen tonight, from the records and the old teddy bear and just everything that you've shown. But what I've got is a few things that these are just some old family things that I'm fortunate to have. And I have to start off with something that does not look like Christmas, but it's just not Christmas without this.
Oh, cool.
And you kind of have to be of a certain age. Now, I'm right on I think near the tail end of the classic. This was given to my father for Christmas by my grandparents in 1952. My mother and father were born during the war. And my father's parents went into the city and bought this Lionel train set for him. And my father was an only child. And so he cherished this and played with it, took good care of it. And then, of course, when my brother and I were small, so that we wouldn't annoy our mother to death during Christmas break, we could only play with it once a year, and that was at Christmas time. And my father would get it out and teach us how to put the track together and set it all up. And my grandfather would be sitting there watching. So there's nothing like the sound and the smell. That is the smell.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes.
Do you know this?
Yes.
The first thing I thought of is a smell. Yeah.
Yes.
There's a puff of smoke. We're probably going to get cancer from it. I don't know, but that's at least what they used to say. But there's just nothing like it. And so I don't have any children, but I have nephews, and they played with it when they were little. And so the toy train, the big old train sets like this are, well, they don't make them like this anymore. That weighs about 15, maybe 20 pounds. I mean, these are steel, and that's Christmas to me. I'm not going to have a chance to fully set it up this year, but I will put it on one piece of track, wire it up, heat it up, and get some smoke puffing out of there, because it just doesn't smell like Christmas.
That's right.
Without that old train.
That is awesome. Oh my goodness. And the fact that you can still get it to work and do that, that's amazing.
Well, before my father passed away, we had it refurbished and whatnot, but he had taken pretty good care of it. And I take good care of it now, and I'll continue to take good care of it and enjoy it as long as I live. So that's from my dad's family. This dumb little thing is not something that I would, wait a minute, let me get it in there. So this shows up in every single Christmas photograph at my mother's house, I think. No matter where they are, it's like it moves around the house. And they had some wonky Christmas trees in the 50s.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
They didn't have these beautiful, they went out in the backyard and they would cut a bush down, a great big, and sometimes it would be, but this is in every photograph. And it says 1956 on the bottom. Again, my mother was born during the war, and they either had Christmas decorations from the 30s when her parents were married, or things that they bought in the 50s because they didn't get many new things during the war. But this is 1956, and as I said, it's just a little cheap little Napco thing. It was probably,
how much those are worth now, though?
I don't know, but you know what? She's
that is a major coveted piece.
Is it?
Yes, that is amazing.
Well, she got a big hole in her head, so I don't know. I guess we put candy canes in it.
That is amazing.
But 1956, and I don't know. I
love it.
It stays with me.
That is an epic piece of kitsch right there.
It's kitsch.
It's great.
So 2 more things. I'll show you something from my childhood, Christmases, and then something from my grandparents' childhood. This is as old as I am, and he's been around as long as I have. And I'll show you his little head first. Wait a minute. I don't know how to get him in there.
You got him.
Now, he's soft plastic, and when we were little, we would pinch his head like that. But most of his clothing is, the mice got to him. And I was, my brother was born in 65, and I came along in 67. And this thing I don't know a Christmas without him. So, I had a cat for many years, and no matter where I put this, where would it wind up at about 3 o'clock in the morning in the bed, because the cat would find it. I don't know what it is. He used to have hair. Look at that. He had a little, I did too. And, but he's just, I guess is he a pixie?
I would say he's a knee hugger, right? Is he a knee hugger?
Well, I've got him bent so he can just sit, and I'm afraid to do much with him.
Yeah. Yeah, I would just leave him the way he is too. Agreed. Because he's very skinny. Vinny says he needs some hamburgers.
Yeah, that thing has had a hard life, but he's been with me he's been around for 55 Christmases, probably 1 or 2 more. My parents might have gotten him when they were married. And then the last thing I'll show you, and then I'll stop running my mouth. These have been on every Christmas tree since I was a boy. And what I didn't know then is that they had been on every Christmas tree since my mother was a girl, and they were actually purchased by her parents. Well, I don't know that, but they were at her parents' first Christmas in 1936. They were high school sweethearts, but because of the Depression, they couldn't get married right away when they graduated in 31. So they had to wait a few years and work. And then by 1936, they got married, and they got these. And we always had these on our tree when I grew up, and they're just made out of metal.
Yeah.
They're just, and I love the Santa up here in the airplane.
Oh my God, it's Airplane Santa.
You see him? I mean, he is hot to trot. He's on, that was it in the 30s. And then there's just, it's just so typical. And then on the back, of course, it shows you how to, as if you didn't know, how to twist them and put them on your tree. Like, look here. Actually how to put the, so they had these, and then
box and everything.
Apparently a box got lost. And then they had a second set of them, and we've had these. Now, I don't have these on my tree now, but that's what they look like with the hooks and everything.
Yeah.
Just very simple. But this is a live tree, and the live trees you get today are so sculptured. You know, those old-fashioned trees where all that lead tinsel is perfectly draped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, you had so much more room in between the boughs of the tree.
Yeah.
And you could dangle stuff like this. It's difficult to get it to look right on a dense tree. So I do other things with it. And they're just things, but they're like old friends when you go and unpack them each year. My father's birthday was on December the 10th, and we never did any decorating until after his birthday.
Oh.
But when his birthday was over, they'd go up into the attic and pull down all the boxes, and we were so excited. And of course, at that time, I sound like I'm 90 years old. I'm not. But you remember, in the early 70s, you didn't hear any Christmas music until it was almost the rule. Nothing until after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yes.
It comes so early now. It's so much earlier. It's hard to describe how much anticipation there was until December came.
Yeah.
And then it just hit you like a flood. And it seems like, I don't know, I walk into, I'm coming home from the beach, from the Jersey Shore, and you stop in August and they've got candy canes in the drugstore, and you go, no, not yet. You're messing it up. So that's it. Those are my things.
That was lovely. Thank you for bringing pieces that meant something to you. I personally love the train. That was really cool. And as an only child, I know what you talk about keeping things in pristine condition. We do that.
Yeah, you don't. That's right, because you don't have annoying brothers and sisters to to throw things around and tear things up.
Nope. So all our stuff is in pristine condition, and if we break something, we get really upset.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Well, I just want to take the opportunity to thank you for asking me to join you. It's been a lot of fun. This is my first guest on any live stream like this. I'm just sort of new. I've done a couple of live sales, and I'm dipping into it. We'll see how much I'm able to do, but I just appreciate you asking me. So I want to say a Merry Christmas and a Happy Hanukkah to those who celebrate either one. And thank you.
Well, cheers to you, Scott. Thank you so much for coming on, and we will see
you.
Okay.
Bye. Oh my goodness. How wonderful were those items? I can smell that train.
Yes.
I can smell it.
Yes. Instantly. As soon as he picked it up, I was like,
I have something similar, but it's not as old and as like solidly made as the one he has, because mine's from later. It's more like the 70s. But I knew exactly what that is. So our next person we are bringing on tends to be the joker of the group. He is always making everyone laugh in the vintage community. And I would like to welcome on Vinny. Hi.
Hello. How are you both tonight?
Great.
Good, how are you?
This is really fun.
Very well. Forgive my flat hair. I look like one of the monkeys from wearing a Santa hat all day.
Hey, it's a look, right? Like it's a look, like you said. You look like one of the monkeys.
I do. I need to get a haircut before I start looking like I have a bowl cut.
Oh, I'm sure that's popular now. I've just been noticing how like mullets are really starting to come back, and I'm like, okay.
Sorry, Billy Ray. Sorry. That's 30 years in the past. Don't bring it back.
Oh, or like the rat tail. All right, we're gonna make you big, Vinny, and I want you to tell us about your channel, about where you can find you and such, and share some holiday goodies.
All right, so I'm Vinny with Vintage Vinny's Antiques. I am a collector, hoarder, reseller of anything vintage, but I'll buy anything to sell. I do live sales once a week, haul videos mainly on my channel. With the new year coming up, I want to try to start doing some shop with me so you guys can see where I'm getting all my bargains at.
Oh, that'd be
I collect pinups. That's like one of my favorite things. Don't know where that started, but that's what I love. Coca-Cola trays or anything Coke particularly. And yeah, if something's cool and a good price, I'll buy it.
And you are just such an expert at Hollywood movie stars. And I'm always, you can name like anyone in a picture. It's really amazing. You're always like, oh, this is so-and-so. And I was like, I had no idea. You're really good at that.
Sometimes they stump me, but I can literally be like, oh, that's Cary Grant. Oh, that's Rock Hudson. That's Liz Taylor. That's Jane Powell, Janet Leigh, Tony Curtis. I could literally show me a face. I could pretty much pick it out.
Wow.
Awesome. So what do you got to show us tonight?
So it's 5 things, right? Was it 5?
You can show whatever you want. I told people they could bring one item. They could bring a collection. They could do what you want. It is fair game, my friend. Fair game.
Okay. Well, one thing I actually have out, and it's probably not the best place for me to bring it in, so I have a picture of it. I did this on Katie's channel the other day.
Oh, yes.
That is my great aunt's ceramic Christmas tree that she made in the 70s. And to keep a long story short, she passed when I was a year. I didn't get to know her. So this tree is my one connection to her.
Mm-hmm.
And when my grandmother or my great grandmother was moving into a retired assisted living home, I think my uncle and maybe some of the other relatives went to her house, and I think they sent 2 of the trees to us, this one and then one that was white with all red. And I told my dad, get rid of that one, and I wanted to keep this one. And of course, he thought I was nuts at the time, and now these things are uber popular, so I'm happy that I made the decision to keep it. So that's the first item.
That's awesome.
Isn't it? I love it.
It's a really good one. Yes.
It is. And she did a good job with it. I mean, it's nice. It's not like tackily done or horribly painted.
Yeah.
Now, this item is something that is rather unusual. I don't think a lot of people have seen him before. This is a full-body Santa Pez from the 50s.
Whoa. I've
wow.
never seen that.
It's a little tiny. I mean, he's not big. But this is actually something that doesn't pop up very often. I was fortunate enough to find it at an antique mall in Pennsylvania. And it's in good shape, missing some paint on it, but this time of year can go over in the hundreds of dollars. They're very desirable to Pez collectors and such. And anytime I see this, I think of my dad, because in the 90s, when Pez was all the rage, he would go to conventions and things like that.
Aww.
So when I saw this in the shop, I was like, this is not something you see all the time.
No.
And I messaged him and I told him, oh, it's what, $37 or something like that. And he said, yeah, that's actually a pretty good price. So I splurged a little bit that day. But this is out all year because it's just such an unusual piece.
That is, I've never seen that before. That's amazing.
Me either.
And I think he said when he went to the conventions, he only ever saw one of these one time. So, and that was, back in the 90s and early 2000s.
I love how his face is a little different than the depiction we usually see. The beard's a little different, the bones. Yeah, it's really neat.
Yeah, he's something that I keep out all year because I love him, and yeah, I can't put him away.
Very cool.
So what else do I have here? Oh, so this I actually just bought this year, and I had never seen this before either. Ooh, I left the tag on him.
Oh, wow.
It's a Gund Rudolph from the 50s.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
He's a bigger size, and he's posable, so you can hold, or you can stand up like that.
Wow. That's really neat.
It says on here, and a lot of people get this messed up when they are listing it. It's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That Roman numeral is 1939, but that is actually just for the year that Robert Elmay released the song. This was made by Gund Manufacturing Company. Only thing missing is he doesn't have a bell where his bow is supposed to be, but that can be easily replaced. And he's in good shape. I had to clean up his face a little bit, but nothing I've ever seen.
It's amazing.
That's
one of my
amazing.
most famous lines. I've never seen that before.
But I mean, if you don't ever see it before, that's when you grab it, right? Like it's just what it is. If you've never seen it before, you grab it.
Yeah, and he was a good price. I did look him up in the shop that I bought him at beforehand because I want to make sure, hey, I'm getting a decent price for it.
Yeah.
And if I have to sell it, I can. And this at Christmas time can go over $200, like $250 upwards of $300, and I paid $30 for it.
Nice.
So I was like, yeah, it's mine.
I love his little antlers, the
He's
felt
fun.
antlers.
I know, right? And
His eyes are so neat. That's just it. Yeah, really cool expression.
Yeah.
I showed this to my mom, and she thought his eyes were a little bit spooky.
Oh,
Because he's like, ooh.
goodness.
So that's really fun.
Love him.
And this I got a few years ago. Was it pre-COVID, maybe? I did get a giant emerald green
Ooh.
swung vase at an
Wow.
antique mall.
I've only seen that.
I think this is Viking.
I've only seen
Because
that.
of the...
Wow.
Yeah, I saw this, and you guys are probably going to think I'm nuts for this one. I got this for $5.
Wow.
Wow.
And I was like, "Ooh, that's got to come home with me." It needs to be clean because obviously it's been sitting and needs to be collected dust over the last few years. But it's a giant one.
Yeah.
Like it's not just a small little piece.
Wow.
Gorgeous color on
And I
that.
think it's Viking. I could be wrong.
Now I've found that same shape in the wild and green, but it's all been that like avocado green. That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
a
like
really
that limey green mixed with avocado. Yeah, I like that color too. But this one is
very Christmas.
This one's very. And when I found it, someone had stuck some like really awful Christmas foliage in it. Like it was like those foam balls with sparkles. And I'm like, no, I'll take the vase. You guys can keep the fugly foliage. We got that. And I guess, was it Claudia that shared a Santa fairy lamp?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got this one here. This one's in Amberina.
Oh.
Whoa, the red one. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
And this I actually bought before I even knew what these were, what a fairy lamp was. And I remember being in the shop and I'm like, oh, if this looks interesting. If it's nothing, I'll, throw it in an auction box. And then everyone in my video in the comments were like, don't you dare throw that away or put that in an auction box. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, yeah. And it does have cadmium in it.
Oh wow.
So this
It's
shines
shows right up.
brightly.
It's got a lot of cadmium. Woof.
It really does.
Yeah.
And these were actually only made for, I think I read from 1971 to 1978 or 79. I guess the cost to make these back then was a lot.
Yeah.
So they were only in circulation for that amount of time.
Wow.
And it was such I couldn't believe how inexpensive it was, and it was in such good shape, so I kept the price tag on it. I don't know if
Nice.
it's gonna show up on camera or not.
Nice.
Oh wow.
So I was like, okay,
Oh,
that needs to come home with me, and because it was such a steal of a deal, it stays. And I actually have the one that Claudia has, and I have one in milk glass too.
Oh, nice. Nice. I do
And
that
that's
too,
another piece
though.
that stays
You
out.
guys, if it's in my personal collection, I leave the tag on like some kind of bragging rights. Like I want to be like, you
Well,
see
that's
what
what that is. Everyone's like, keep that tag on there so like you'll remember how much of a good deal you got on that.
Yeah.
And then, is there anything? Oh,
I've
I'll
done
show
that.
one more piece of glass.
Ooh.
I don't know the maker of this one. But this is unusual. It's got like a diamond point, like texture to it.
Wow.
Spotted that in the Goodwill a mile away, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta run over there."
That's
And I didn't discover until I think maybe a few months after that I had bought it, that it too was a glower.
What? It glows. Oh, you
If I had
froze,
to
Vinny.
guess a maker, maybe Caye.
Wow.
Did I freeze?
Yep, I see you now. You're
Am I
good.
back now?
Yeah.
Yep, you're good.
But yeah, that was a shocker.
Wow.
Because some green glass you don't know.
Yeah, because that
But
doesn't
yeah,
have the color.
this lights up beautifully.
That doesn't have the color I would suspect either. So
No,
wow.
it doesn't at all. Yeah,
People are
it's
saying-
really neat, and I just like the texture of it.
People are trying to ask you if you'll sell the Santa in the chat.
No, sorry guys. If I find another one, I will, but I can't say for sure that I'll be selling the other ones.
Dang, Vinny, your swung vase game is like on point. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
That's Antique Nomad's fault. I would have walked right past those if I hadn't have watched his videos and such.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Like one of my favorite thing about watching other people's channels is just learning about stuff. Like it.
Oh, I know.
That's for me, some of the best part of some of the content is truly just learning. It definitely kept me engaged and kept me kind of actively doing something during the shutdown, was just like watching all these videos and learning. Like it's just fantastic. But oh my goodness,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
awesome. So Vinny, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me here on YouTube, Vintage Vinny's Antiques. I'm also on Instagram. I haven't been as active on there as I should be, but I'm slowly but surely trying to unearth the months and months of inventory that I've acquired and share with you all some of the cool stuff you can find at the sales, or maybe I'll put on eBay for you all, which, by the way, I'm on there too. Have a shop running 10% off right now for anybody who's interested.
All right.
But yeah, I'm constantly finding stuff. That's just what I do. If I'm bored or need to get out of the house, I go antiquing. I shouldn't do that, but it's in my blood. I'm third generation junker.
Oh, that's so awesome. Well, I'm excited to see if you do shop along content coming up, as you were talking about. I think that'll be amazing, because I am completely convinced that y'all over in the Northeast,
I'm gonna try.
Y'all have the best vintage over there. I'm just gonna move over the Northeast and start an antique store, because my lord.
The East Coast is got some good stuff. Like, because I live right on the border of PA, I'm in there all the time buying stuff.
Yeah.
The prices are pretty good too if you're in the area.
I know, it's wild. Well, thank you so much, Vinny. Cheers to you. And I look forward to laughing at whatever punchline you put in a chat coming up, because Vinny's always the one keeping on our toes, keeping us laughing. So thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Merry Christmas to all and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, so next up, we have Halynn Vintage. I am so excited to welcome you on, my dear. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you? Thank you so much for letting me come on.
Well, thank you so much for doing us the honor of coming on. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness.
My house I have a mid-century home, and it's like very dark. I've like put bigger light bulbs in and everything, and it's still dark. But anyways, we're going with it. So you can see the trees a little bit better behind me.
Yes.
So and that was, I guess, I'll just explain those real quick.
Yeah. Okay.
So the medium size one.
Okay. I'm gonna put you big. Okay. I'm gonna put you in the center. All right. There you are.
All right. And I used to be an instructor, so it's like, let's just get to the point. This is what you need to know, and we're going to go on. All right, I can get you through a 3-hour lecture in 45 minutes. So, the medium-sized one under the W there, the wine sign, that one is actually the one my mom made. So it was always the one that was on our council TV when I was growing up. So, of course, she also made the 2 snowmen that are there.
Oh.
And then the one in the center, and I don't want to get all like mushy or whatever, her girlfriend made that. And I think it was like her best friend, and she died of cancer. And this is just going to be like a crazy story, so I don't want to upset anybody or whatever, but it is what it is. So I think my mom put it up in her attic and didn't realize that it was up in her attic because her girlfriend like passed away. She gave it to her for her birthday because it says happy birthday on the bottom of it. And she just put it away. Well, my mom lost her home in a flood. And so then we were clearing the house out because we lost the home. So it was up in the attic, so it didn't get in the flood. And she didn't even remember it was up there. So that is actually from her girlfriend that died, and she didn't want nothing to do with it. So there was no way I could like throw it out. So that one is there. And then the other one I just grabbed because it was smaller. But anyways, so those are why those trees are there. But Mom did make the first one. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. I can't believe it's such a beautiful tree, the one that Tina had made. And I really think that she was just so upset because it was like her best friend. Yeah. And she just put it in the attic and just forgot about it. And yeah, so then of course we don't want to talk about that anymore. All right, so I'm Lynn from Halynn Vintage. I do retro cooking Wednesdays. So I've also done the little collaboration that Beth from, I can never say her channel name, Carolina Princess Sweet Treats and Pretties. You don't know how many retakes I have to say that when I do a collaboration with her. I should put them all in one time because her name is so long. But she is just a great person. So I've done quite a few collaborations with her, and she just had that baking one. So we did do a lot of those. So I do a lot of retro cooking. I do live sales on Tuesdays at 5. And then I also do a Instagram live sale Fridays we're switching that to 1 o'clock on Fridays.
Oh, that's amazing.
We do that with Belladonna Vintage. She does a lot of clothing and stuff.
Okay.
So she does a lot of vintage clothing. She has amazing things. And I showed her this today because I was waiting for St. Vincent to put all of their Christmas half off today. And I went there at 9 o'clock, 8:58. I was in the door. And this is a Mary Frances. I don't know if you guys, I'm not really into purses, but this thing is from the 80s, I guess. And when I took a picture of this and I'm like going, hey, do you know anything about Mary Frances? She like freaked out on me. She's like, oh my gosh, you got a Mary Frances? And I go, yeah. And I took a picture of the inside. She's like, and it's numbered. That's from the 80s. I'm like, oh, cool.
That's neat.
I don't know stuff about purses. I do more glass. So, yes. So I did snag the Mary Frances. That will be going up for sale. I don't know when, but I'm going to have to talk to her more because I can't find it anywhere. And she's like, I can't find that purse either anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And it's numbered. So I was like, yeah, I seen that they had it in the case, but I waited for half off day. So
that's cool. Wow.
It's very cool. But I'm not like,
is it metal?
I'm not a vintage purse person.
Is it metal? Is the whole thing metal?
It's like cardboard.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's shaped into like this little Christmas tree. And it's kind of cool. It's like a Santa Claus on there. It's got all this stuff on there. I guess her purses are very popular. I know nothing about purses, but it's time to learn, right?
Yes, that's amazing. Wow. I've never seen anything like it. So now it's something that we got to learn tonight that I'm going to look up more.
Yes.
I was trying to figure out how it
for like
opened.
$300.
Wow. That is super.
I've never seen that. Yeah, I don't know. I cannot find this one at all. So we are still on the search to see. And we, with it being numbered and everything, she's like, no, that's totally her purse with it being numbered and everything. And that's an older tag.
Wow.
So
that's cool.
That's cool.
I've never seen before. That's amazing.
No, I haven't seen it either. I'm not really into, but they're just so much easier to ship than glass, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
So a piece of glass though, that I recently found was this Tiffin vase. This is uranium. I don't have a black light with me, but It is just gorgeous with the flower frog already in it.
I was gonna say the flower frogs.
And I mean, this thing lights up just absolutely wonderful. And I did find this in a little consignment shop. And when I found this, it was with and I didn't know this either, Frigidaire. They were with Frigidaire water jugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
I sold one of those. Yes.
There was two. She gave me 2 of them for $8.
Oh wow, good deal.
So then I think this was 12, and then I already sold the Frigidaire, but they didn't have the stoppers. Because if they had the stoppers, the one thing I was like, this would be perfect for Scott's kitchen,
right?
If I would have had a stopper to it, I was sending it to Scott. I was like, you need this for your kitchen.
Right? Yeah. So George, the antique nomad, is the person who taught me about those. And he said the uranium ones were the ones that were sold with the fridge. And so those are the harder ones to find, where the clear ones were the ones you could just buy. But the uranium ones came with your fridge when you bought the fridge.
Yes. Yeah. I had 2 of them.
I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I wish they would have had the stoppers, but I'm sure the stoppers are like lost all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But it was just amazing. They were just sitting there, and I'm like, "Are you selling these?" She's like, "Yeah, $8." I was like, awesome. "Okay, I'll take them."
That is amazing.
I'm like, I've never seen another with Frigidaire on the bottom of them. So that was really cool. But I had found that at the same time I had found this Tiffin vase, which the Tiffin vase is just beautiful. I mean, there's a lot of uranium in it. It lights up really great.
Oh, that is beautiful. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. I appreciate it so much. And thank you for your beautiful story about the tree.
I just didn't want to and then I just said to my mom, she asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I said, I want a Christmas cactus. I don't know why I'm thinking of her dad. And she brought this over.
Oh, that's sweet.
My mom has Christmas cactuses that are just out of control. They just grow and grow and grow. So that reminds me of my mom.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know why I'm thinking of grandma. I just want a Christmas cactus.
Love it.
Yeah, so she brought that over for me.
Oh. Thank you so much for coming on. So everyone, be sure to check out her channel and Instagram. You said you have Instagram.
Yes. And I sell on Macari, eBay, OfferUp.
Oh goodness, all kinds of stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Now, just letting everybody know, I will put links to every channel that came on here. I will update the description. Not knowing who is going to be here, links aren't there now, but I will at the end. So cheers to you, and thank you so much for coming on.
Costco had those big half gallons of eggnog for $5. I almost set one in front, but I thought that would be a little much.
I'm telling you, $5
for the spiked eggnog half gallons. Of course, I bought 6 of them. We got the holidays to get through.
So good.
Oh my goodness. Okay, great night.
Bye.
Oh my God. 5 gallons of eggnog. I can't even imagine. I love it.
I know, right?
Gosh, that purse though. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. Now, I have 2 more guests below. And we let's see. The next one is going to be Angela. I see you, my dear. And she has a guest with her as well. So we are bringing you up, my dear. Hello. Let me big
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm at Shila's house. We're in my wine cellar. We're interesting things.
You guys, they're getting hammered on and coming on the live stream. This is what I'm talking about. This is a happy holidays.
It's very happy. If you've been to Brooklyn with my show with Heather, this is not the first time. But I introduced Sheila to my favorite Hallmark movie, and she didn't love it as much as I did.
Well, what is it? What is it? We gotta know.
It was The Love Letter,
and it was on Angela and Heather's show last Monday night. And she said she didn't have it on DVD, so I found it on Amazon and I ordered it knowing she was coming to visit. So we just watched it. So, you know, it's great if you love Hallmark. We were a little sarcastic going through it because some of it was just unbelievably unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's my antique loving origin story. So that's why like I had to talk about it last week, because it's about an antique desk that breaches the bounds of time.
Oh.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. And the post office breaches the bounds of time,
True.
too.
The post office was key.
Yeah.
So if you like Sam, it's important.
Oh my goodness, ladies. It's so nice to see you both. And I love that you're just surrounded by holiday cheer, shall we say.
Yeah, that's only part of the basement.
But
Wow.
we did bring things. I had to buy things because I forgot to bring mine.
Oh, no.
I was going to share. Heather Elizabeth gave me a little 1910 fan. Because if you know this from the name of my channel,
Yes.
my house was built in 1910. I just bought it last year. So I'm trying to collect ephemera from that era. And she gave me a calendar fan. And it's glorious. But it's on my mantle. And I forgot to stick it in my bag. So.
Oh, shoot.
But what? Sheila go first. Okay. So
Be
this
sure
is
to post
mine.
a picture of it so everybody can see it, okay?
Oh, it's on my.
Whoop. No, this way.
It's hard. Wait, I'll aim it.
Okay. So this is a candle, a Hanukkah menorah, or Hanukkah, that I got when I was a junior in college and I spent my year in Israel. And we bought this at the department store right there after Hanukkah sale. And I didn't realize until I started following you guys that it's actually very brutalist in style, but I love it. And it's one of my prized possessions. And I bought it in 1979.
It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
So that's when we discussed what we were going to do. Yeah, this way. Okay. Anyway, so that's.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it was easier when I was controlling it when I was on with you the last time. Now Angela's controlling it.
I know.
And we've been drinking, which I wasn't. There we go.
Beautiful. I love that. I'm so
That's
glad
beautiful,
you're sharing.
Yeah, we're having fun. Okay. You're up.
So, since I did just buy my house, my family's not huge on, saving things. So I've had to create my own collections. And I mean, I have no hardship doing so. So earlier today, I released the video of like decorating my mantle. And then Sheila took me to her favorite antique store. And I found these glass trees, which I don't think are particularly old, but they are a very thin
Oh, wow.
glass with like gold.
With little gold balls.
So my mantle theme is Victorian splendor. It's all like fancy ladies and gold.
Yeah.
And so these are going to be added because there's one tall one. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I was
Unless I
gonna
break
say,
it.
don't break it.
And then the shorter one here.
Those are amazing. I have never
Aren't
seen them before.
So
Me neither.
they're Zodax is the brand. Made in China, so likely, like 90s.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
I love them. I'm gonna stick some fairy lights in them because they're open.
Nice.
And then I love one of our segments on Brocante and Bergamot is titillating tablescapes. And so I got this awesome vintage tablecloth.
Oh.
It's green. I mean, you see white all the time and you see red, but it's green with poinsettias and pine cones
Oh, pretty.
and gold.
No.
So I'm very I dropped it.
They've been drinking just a little bit. Just a little.
So here's the pine cone.
Wow. That is gorgeous.
Yeah,
That is
so I'm excited. I've been trying to create my own Christmas traditions now that I have my own space. And last year, I couldn't put my tree up until the solstice because I had just moved in like 20 days beforehand. So now my tradition is putting my tree up on the solstice. So it gives my cats less time to tear it apart.
Ah,
Yes.
I see.
Very important.
Oh my gosh, ladies. Okay, first of all, I'm envious of you sitting there drinking with all the options. But cheers to you. Cheers to you.
Here,
Thank
we
you for
look it up.
taking the honor of coming on.
Here we go. Here's Tintin.
And then Angela, don't forget to tell them where they can find you.
So my channel is voa.quest1910. I usually do a weekly sale on Sundays, but there's going to be a small break for the holidays. And then on Mondays, Heather, Elizabeth, and I of Antique Agenda swap to do our Brocante and Bergamot show, which isn't a sale. We just hang out and chat.
And you're doing
a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, Boxing Day we're having a pajama party. So
nice.
We're just going to hang out in our PJs. I might make eggnog for the first time ever, and then we will talk about holiday traditions around the world.
Nice. Cool.
That's fun.
All right, ladies. Oh my
My
gosh.
cheeks are getting pink.
Thank you so much. Cheers to you. Thank you for doing me the honor of coming on. And oh my gosh, you have a great evening. And please put a dent in that stock. Down.
That's not possible.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Oh my goodness. I absolutely loved that. That just gave me the giggles of all time, of all the drinks and such.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
my dear, we have one more person in the back. And we all know who this is. So welcome.
Oh my gosh, it's me. Wow. I'm the last one, huh?
You are. You're kicking it off with
and Catherine.
Kathy,
How are you?
I know. I was like, you know who this is.
Yes. My buddy, Kathy.
That's right. Oh my goodness. So I am going to make you the big space, and then I'm going to have you introduce yourself, tell people where they can find you, and then show us some holiday.
All right, I'll do that. I'll try to be quick because I know since I'm last. I'm Kathy.
Hey, no. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Hi, everybody in the chats. I'm Kathy Picasocat. I have sales on Thursdays at 4 o'clock. Oh, I get this all mixed up. Eastern time. I live in Arizona, so our time never changes. We're always the same. So I have to kind of adjust, and it's so confusing. But I do have sales on Thursdays. And I also have sales on Sunday with Sabrina. Simon Says, Let's Make a Deal. And my mind is going blank. Leanne, Crafty Kitty Vintage. And formerly, this lady up here, Kathy, was on there. And she's more than welcome to join us again anytime.
Yeah, I had a neighbor issue where I couldn't continue to do late shows weekly, unfortunately. So,
but if it ever changes, you're more than welcome to come back.
That's fingers crossed, by the way. I wasn't giving that thing.
Yeah, it's gonna happen for you. I know it's gonna happen. It's gonna work out for you.
Thank you.
But anyways, and then I try to do at least one haul video or some kind of video during the week. So I am taking off until after Christmas. So I won't have a sale until the 29th. And that's with Heather from Antique Agenda. So that'll be fun.
Oh, that's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, it will be fun. So other than that, I'm just out thrifting and doing some crafting. And I want to get more into crafts. That's my goal, more into crafts.
I love that so many people in the vintage community are crafty. I feel like we are creative people anyways, if we love vintage. And creative in all different ways. Like you think about like Scott and all his restoration.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and like we're just creative in all different ways. But I feel like the vintage community we're just creative people,
I
and I
think
love
so
it.
too. I think we are.
I
A
love
lot
it.
of us. Yeah, I love it too. And I love the craft. And crafting with vintage or vintage inspired, that's really what I love to do. So speaking of that, I have 3 things I'm gonna show you. I have so many favorites. So many collections, but I'll show you one. One of them is I'm obsessed with frozen Charlottes. And one of my crafting I do is crochet. So I make them seasonal outfits. So I made her a little crochet dress for Christmas,
So
a
cute.
little Santa hat. I put a little vintage brooch on her.
If that is not the cutest thing, what?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Point.
But I just love her. I'm just obsessed with these. I have them in all different sizes. And yeah, I just love them. So that's one of my obsessions or favorites.
Wow.
I love her so much. And then I love vintage Santas. That's another one of my obsessions. And a couple years ago, we were at a yard sale, and it's so funny because my husband, we're walking down the driveway or up the driveway of this place, and I see this Santa, and it's a Russian Santa, and I'll show you the Santa.
Oh, it's a Coca-Cola one.
Yes, and he was just sitting on the table. And I'm thinking, my heart, your heart just goes boom, boom, you see it. I don't know. Oh, I said, I just know it's going to be pricey. It's going to be out of my price range. I'm not going to be able to afford to buy it. So I just, go over there and I pick it up, and it's in pristine condition.
Wow.
It's beautiful, beautiful condition.
Wow.
It's got the Coke bottle and everything, just really nice. So I said, well, how much is this? And she goes, oh, that's $1. I'm like, what? $1. I said, $1? She said, yeah, $1. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's like, start the car. So I was so excited about that. But yeah, but I think these people buy storage lockers and, they make the most money they can. They must not look things up. And then they were just trying to get rid of stuff. Because then she goes, oh, since you bought that, why don't you just pick out a bag of ornaments, So that was a great deal.
Wow.
So he's not my first, he's my second. I have another one that has black boots, and he's not in as good condition. I paid way more for him.
Wow.
He's nice so much. And some people think
he looks
creepy. What's that?
No, he looks so real because he's in such good condition. Like he looks more real than the other ones.
He's in very good condition. I just love him. He's kind of his beard is whiting out. But yeah, that was just a great find. And I love him. Just love. And then the last item I have, this is for my childhood. We had 2 of these. One of them got all moldy and we had to throw them away. And it's so funny because when I would bring him out, my mother's like, what do you want with that old thing? Because she didn't care for it. I said, Mother, it's for my childhood. I remember him. And look at this little Santa.
Oh,
look at his eyebrows.
Every year I carefully pack him away because he's just all paper. I have him stuffed with paper right now. It's cardboard and felt, and of course the little garland. But I take him out every year, and every year I pack him away really carefully because I just love him so much. And I remember him from when I was a kid, So yeah. So that's why I love him so much. Yeah. So that's it.
So sweet.
I'm old. So this thing is probably, I would say, from probably the very early 60s.
Oh, he's adorable.
I don't know why I'm getting all blurry all of a sudden, but yeah. That's all.
Goodness.
That is it. So thank you, Catherine, for doing this, and Kathy. This is a lot of fun.
Oh my goodness.
I hope you do this every year.
Cheers to you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
One thing I've been trying to think of this past year, and I did the Valentine's for the Love of Vintage thing. I'm trying to find ways where people can collab where they don't have to give a ton of time. Because I feel like that's one of the things with a lot of the collabs. Like I have to turn down stuff because I'm like, I can't. Like I just can't do it. And I sometimes think that some of us that only do this as part-time or a side hustle or hobby or whatever, some of us are even more busy because we have all the other things and then this. And I would love to do this again, or maybe for a different holiday even.
That would be nice too.
But yeah, I've been trying to think of collabs where it's just not a huge time investment.
Yeah,
However,
I
I greatly appreciate that you hung out in the back, and I greatly appreciate that every one of our guests hung out in the back. So that's a big deal. A lot of people hung out for quite a long time. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for coming on, my
Merry
dear.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Cheers to
Christmas.
you. Oh my goodness. That is amazing. Like, okay, I am like blown away
Yeah.
with like everything that was brought. So many good things. And then at the end, she just was like, and then I'm just gonna kill it and show you a $1 Rushton Santa that looks like
Right. Right. I'll just this whole thing.
right? Okay, so now I am going to have my co-host share an item, and then I will share my item, and then we are having a giveaway, my friends. It is free to everyone, and it is open to anyone. It's completely free. Lurkers, this means you. So everybody, please hang to the end. What it will be is you will get to order an item from my merch store, absolutely any item you want. So that's what it will be. So I'm gonna make you big, my dear.
Okay. So I had a hard time. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Do the whole spiel. Do what we've had everybody else do.
Okay. And by the way, thank you for the card. I love it. So I had a hard time deciding. I had in my mind that I was going to bring this lovely gentleman here. I had found him in the bins a couple of years ago, and I thought, well, people have seen him. He's been sitting there. And then I went to something else mentally, and I said, no, what really means Christmas to you? What do you have to look at every Christmas Eve to feel like Christmas? And I remembered a lot of us probably have this book, but it means Christmas to me in so many ways. Just the colors, the artwork. It's the Whitman Telltale book of The Night Before Christmas. It doesn't want to focus for some reason, but I've seen these at the live sales, and every time I do, I just get nostalgic. I think I spent hours looking at this when I was a kid, and as an adult, I still spend a good 10, 20 minutes looking at every little ornament. They look like shiny brights. The tree is kind of spindly like they used to be, where Scott was saying you could fit things. They would hang right. So I just adore this book. It does not have a barcode. So I'm thinking, what is it, 74 or something like that? But literally I will pour through every single page every Christmas Eve with this book. Even now at 47 years old, I will still do this. And one of the main things I want to bring up is that throughout this book, this little mouse is seen. Let's see if I can get him to focus. I might not be able to. Well, this cute little mouse is throughout the book. There he is.
There he is.
Not a creature was stirring, and Santa shows up and he stirs. He holds his little stocking there for Santa. You can see a stereo view right there on the table. I love looking at the lamp, the beautiful decor, the honeycomb bells. Just sitting here looking at all the decor. As a vintage lover, I just love this.
There's a hurricane lamp in there too.
There is. Yep. Isn't it
gosh.
wonderful? And I mean, I'm not going to go through every page, but I will literally read 'Twas the Night Before Christmas every year. And just to show you, at the very end of the book, he has his little stocking, and he's so happy about it. And the font is gorgeous. So it's falling apart. I've had it ever since I can remember.
Yes.
And it's out every single year. Actually, it's been out all year this year. So this is Christmas to me.
Oh, I love it. That was a good choice. I love old books. Great choice.
Too. Thank you.
And is that your item, or do you have anything else?
I would say it's my main item. Just quickly, I can show you. I was going to choose this before I thought of that, and it's a Central Maine Power Christmas idea book. It's probably from the 60s. It is so chock full of mid-century goodness that I'm in love with this thing.
Look at the illustration.
It just is so good. I mean, again, it's something I actually look at this every Christmas Eve too, because it tells you how to carve a turkey, outdoor Christmas lighting. Again, I think this is from the 60s, but of course it's Central Maine Power, so they're going to show that. But it's really fun and fascinating to look at. So 2 ephemera pieces, basically.
Oh, I love
That's
that.
it.
Oh, those are great.
Thank
Okay,
you.
all right, I'm gonna bring myself big. Okay, so I'm rounding out the end. So my item actually does have a little bit of a backstory. So I don't know about everyone else. Mine's like huge too. I don't even know how it's gonna go on screen. So we're rolling with it. So I don't know about everyone else, but my mom always bought the Christmas gifts, and then the tags would say like from dad, from Santa, from like, but it was always my mom. Like she bought the Christmas gifts, right? Like it, like, and as you got older, you knew, we all knew. And I'm sorry, my cat's just gonna keep screaming. She can't find me. She's blind. It is what it is. And one year when I was 11 years old, my mom kind of put her foot down on my dad. And she said, oh, bye. Some people are heading out. Thank you for being here. So one year she kind of put her foot down and was like, no, you're going to figure it out yourself. You're going to get your daughter Christmas gifts by yourself. And I was 11 years old. And my dad had to figure it out. And this item was not on my list of something I wanted by any means. But it is like the coolest item. And I have drugged this thing across the country multiple times, everywhere. When I bring it up, some of you will know, some of you won't get it at all. But it is the McDonald's case of 101 Dalmatian ornaments.
Oh my goodness.
So these came in Happy Meals. And so I'm just gonna so these came in Happy Meals, these little ornaments.
Oh my gosh.
But you could talk to the managers of the McDonald's and you could buy the entire set. Honestly, I don't even know if I can show this. I really don't. This might be a disaster, but we're gonna go for it.
Oh,
so
wow.
the whole set this opens up too, but this is what it looks like.
Oh wow.
And so one year my mom did a full Dalmatian tree, and we did all 100 Dalmatians on the tree. So, and this is actually not even the original one. The original one did not survive a fire in a storage unit.
Oh, no.
But I will never get rid of this one. And funny enough, this is not that valuable. It looks like a really cool thing, but on eBay, you can't get very much for it. Probably because it's ginormous. People are like, what am I going to do with 101 Dalmatian ornaments? But the piece really means a lot to me. My dad passed away when I was 18, and it is the one year that I remember that he did the Christmas shopping himself.
Oh, that's really sweet. And he did such a good job.
Yeah, it is not just the most weird. It's a really weird gift, but it's also really wonderful.
Right.
Yeah, and my family, we really loved Disney, all of us. My family, we didn't really share interests. My dad loved to hunt and fish. I didn't like it. My mom made porcelain dolls. I didn't like it. She collected precious moments. I didn't like it. But the one thing we could all agree on was we loved Disney. Oh. And, I think that was the one thing my family could all bond around. And, I even went to work for Disney in marketing, so it definitely a full circle thing. Disney became really important to my life. And so it's so good that he got the little ornaments.
Oh my gosh. That's so cute. I've never seen that either, and I'm surprised because I'm a Disney person and I'd never seen that.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? Anyway, so yeah, I have this giant thing and I never know what to do with it because it's really hard to put out. So big. Okay, you guys. Thank you, everybody. I see all your kind comments. Thank you, everyone. Oh, thank you. Oh, yes, my cape. This is a tree skirt. Yes, it is.
I would not have guessed.
It is a tree skirt, my cape. Thank you so much for the compliments.
Oh my God.
So y'all, we are going to close it out. I appreciate everyone who's given us time tonight. I don't take that for granted at all, because this is a really busy time of year.
Yeah.
And just giving us, blessing us with your time is a big deal. And I wish you all so much success in 2023. All the creators success, and everybody in the vintage community. I hope that you reach all your goals next year and you have a great next year. And I didn't forget, gonna do a giveaway. I was like, don't let me forget. So this is going to be open to absolutely everyone. It will be free shipping. You're not paying anything, okay? The only thing I will need is, like, if you do win and you've never bought anything from me before, I am going to need your information. So that the contact me info is all below every video. I just need you to reach out via my website. So I believe I just put my name here. Yeah, I just put my name here. So, but if you're like really confused about it, leave me a comment on the video if something goes wrong. Okay. So I'm calling all lurkers. I know you're there. It's open to you as well. Okay. And to enter the giveaway, I'm not picking the first person. I have a number written down. Okay. So it's not going to be the person with the fastest internet. To enter, I need you to write, what am I drinking tonight? What am I drinking tonight? I enter, and I have a number right here. So I will pick the number that I wrote down, and you just tell me what I'm drinking, and that's it.
There we go. Here they come. It comes
God,
in.
my cat. I sound like I'm murdering an animal in condo. I'm so sorry, y'all. Lord.
Oh.
It's not spiked. I'm actually just doing it with hot water. I think I need more entries still. I think. Let's see.
There we go. There's some more.
Oh.
Lurkers too.
Lurkers.
Grape juice.
All right. I think I got enough. I'm going to put stop. Okay. All right. Let's see. It sounds like I'm murdering animals in here. It's bad. Okay. So I have a side device, so I'm able to check on the side in an uninterrupted feed. So it's number 10. So number 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oop, wait. Oh, it just jumped on me. Sorry, guys. I'm trying. It just jumped on me again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Halynn Vintage. I have you for number 10. So you have won. So congratulations. Thank you, everybody, for entering. Thank you so much. And yeah, you can have anything off my merch website. We will touch base. And she is calling Mama. That's what she's doing. It is what she's doing.
Yeah.
And you can have anything off my website. Just know that there is supply chain issues like every single other service right now. My mom was getting very frustrated with some of the things not available, but it's out of my control. The entire country is having supply chain issues. So we just got to work around it and be like, well, that color isn't available. I'll take the other color. So yeah, so congratulations. Oh my gosh. And Cathy, my dear, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. This was very fun and exciting, and I'm such a Christmas nut, so this was definitely something I was looking forward to as soon as you invited me. I'm very honored to be here.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were talking about doing something, and I'm glad this came together, and hopefully we'll get together for. Well, we've been talking about something for the new year.
Yeah.
We'll keep people posted. Thank you. I again, I appreciate your time. There is a million places you all could be.
Yeah.
I know that. And you spent time with us, and that means the world to me. So thank you, everybody. Thank you. And be sure to check out the great channels we're featured. And I will update the description, so all the links will be there later on tonight.
Right. So good to see everybody.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Have a good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.